All right, welcome everyone to our amazing webinar today. So today we're going to be going over how Carl's Jr. has been using Workstream to hire their employees. My name is Aaron Delgadillo. I am calling today from Sacramento, California. Although I have the amazing blue Workstream background, it's a beautiful 95, 96 degrees today. So looking forward to this hot weather. You know, over the years, we've worked with many Carl's Jr. accounts. And each one of them does have very specific needs depending on where they're located throughout the United States. However, as I mentioned previously, you know, one thing remains the same. Everyone needs to find the great applicants, ask great questions to the applicants, move them to an interview, and move them forward. On the screen right now, we have our amazing partner, Tara Lindstrom. And her team have built an amazing hiring process to help out the GMs. At the end of the day, my hiring organizes itself. That's pretty self-explanatory. When Tara built their hiring process, they had one thing in mind, and that's to eliminate any friction that there was for those GMs so that they can make an informed decision on who to move forward with. And we just talked about two main groups, both owners as well as GMs. And you may think, you know, they may have a lot of differences between them, but at the end of the day, they all have the same goal. And one of the questions that always comes up is, you know, why Workstream? Why are individuals coming over to Workstream from other places to use us? And when it comes down to it, we have a great way to post jobs. From an owner perspective, when they're setting up Workstream, after the job descriptions are all squared away, the job titles and the hiring process, they're able to very quickly post to those 10 free job boards for the basic Workstream package. When you go up, you also have access to 25,000 job boards made available to you. So at any given time, you can find the correct job board that best fits your needs. On top of that, we have an amazing sourcing staff here at Workstream that can give you recommendations on which of the 25,000 job boards resonates with you. Even small considerations of, hey, I have some locations in a different state. You can actually search within those 25,000 job boards to find something that's centralized over to you. On top of this, you know, we definitely live in a different world right now with COVID being the top of mind. And with the thought of having the appropriate information to really make an informed decision, if we want to invite an applicant in for an interview, that's really top of mind for a lot of Carls. So a lot of them have done something really clever. They've added some great open-ended questions as well as the ability to upload a 30-second video. From a question perspective, they ask just some really basic questions of, you know, why do you want to work for Carl's and this specific position? And it's an easy, open-ended question. And that's really a way to see how the applicant is communicating, presenting their thoughts, but to see if, you know, are they a real applicant or are they just trying to check off a box in order to say that they're applying for multiple jobs. On the other side, something that we've been really excited about is 30-second videos. Our individual Carl's operators, they've been adding a new question that says, you know, we want to meet you, record a 30-second video using your phone's camera. It's typically marked as optional, but as a hiring manager, as a GM, you're able to go through some of these videos to really see, again, similar to the previous one, how are they presenting their answers? How are, you know, and what is their video presence? Because you want to make sure that you're inviting the right people in for a interview. Following that is onboarding. You know, getting documents signed or having your new team members watch specific maybe videos to get them up and going and get them into the store faster is really top of mind. Here at Workstream, we facilitate online signing when it comes to W-4s, I-9s, and something that's really popular are kind of employee handbooks. You know, as you can see from this screenshot on the left-hand side, your applicants are, at this time, your new members can fill out their paperwork on their cell phones. On top of that, you also have the ability to embed videos into certain stages. So let's say, hey, I want to post a video of the proper procedure on how to wear a mask. Maybe a little question to say, to kind of check for understanding to see if they do understand what are the proper expectations for kind of these new regulations and these new rules that your organizations are rolling out with. We help facilitate that in a very easy, kind of in a bite-sized manner, so your applicants can go from one stage to another. And talking about onboarding, we wanted to just really mention our WOTC integration. So as of right now, we have a great integration with WOTC.com, which will help you apply for those WOTC credits. And for each employee that you do hire, you have the ability to claim up to 9,600 in tax credits. And just as a FYI, you have up to 20 years to apply for those. And on the left-hand side, we have some of the target groups that that you can actually target. And if you do want to learn more about this, we have two fantastic webinars from our team members here that kind of go over that. So today, I didn't want to bore you with too many slides. What I really wanted to do is really jump into your account or jump into a Carl's account that we built today so that we can show it off. But before I do that, I'm going to check into the chat to see if there's any questions. Right. So if you do have any questions, feel free to add it in the Q&A section, and that way we can answer them as they come along. And also we will build in some time at the very end so that any one of you can ask questions. Yes, and that also does include you, Amy and Anthony, who are on the call, and also welcome. All right. So no questions as of right now. Oh, one question did jump up and I will answer before we move on. Can I use Workstream for free or do you have a free trial? The answer is yes to both. So overall, we do have a free version of Workstream that will be launched very, very shortly. And it's super exciting to be able to offer that to you and to actually be able to mention it to you today as well. And do you have a free trial? And we do see both of those as a little bit different. So you can, as a GM, you can definitely use Workstream for free. However, if you're here representing your entire franchise, we do also offer free trials if you want to try it out for a few different stores so that you can see firsthand the individual power of Workstream. So depending on who you are, we have a fantastic way for you to try it out, Workstream. Thanks for the great question. And definitely keep the questions coming. All right, so when you log into Workstream, you'll get to a page very similar to this. For those of you who are new to Workstream, I do want to just quickly give you a 5-cent tour. When you get here, you'll be able to see your summary of the previous week. How many new applicants are coming in, how many new hires, and how many positions are posted. On the left-hand side for those GMs and those hiring managers, you'll be able to see what your interview schedule is today. That way, you'll be able to see exactly what you have in the books today. And finally, although it's empty right now, is your to-do list. As you get applicants into specific stages here at Workstream, we will then give you a little bit of reminders of, hey, you have 10 people in the hiring pool stage. Remember to move forward with them. That way, you can actually have a good pulse on those individuals that are coming in. And a good question that came up today is this a Carl's Jr. account that we're seeing? This, great question. And what we're at right now is a demo account. So what we did is we pulled in individual job descriptions and hiring process from 2 different Carl's organizations. And that way we can see a little bit of a compare and contrast of, what other organizations are doing. It's a great question. So after you moved away from your dashboard, we're going to come in here under positions to our fake positions. Here, we're able to see 2 distinct positions, a crew member, as well as Carl's Jr. team member. And today, as I said, we're going to compare and contrast both. So I have our individual careers page that we built for each organization right here. Very clean lines, very basic, with the Carl's logo right on top. If we were to compare both of them, so I'm going to just click on apply to both in 2 different pages, we can see the difference between the crew member as well as the Carl's Jr. team member. For the crew member, notice that this job description is very, very thin. It's very, very clean, very straight to the point. When this was first used, this did yield a lot of great results. However, this was definitely pre-COVID. Our recommendation is something closer to this, the Carl's Jr. team member. Here, you'll be able to see, if you're an applicant, some really great information about who we are, some of the perks, and some frequently asked questions. If you are an applicant, giving the, having the right information in order for you to want to continue to move forward is really, really important. Definitely, it really matters about your individual locations, your individual market. You know your applicants the best. So it's ultimately up to you to really put together something that works for you. However, we've always seen some really great success with those individuals that have some really great and well-structured job descriptions with bullet points. Now, the differences between those individual hiring or those job descriptions doesn't end there. I'm going to come back here to positions, and I want to briefly go over the hiring processes for both of them. And this is where it gets really exciting. So I'm going to close these up, and I'm going to bring up both the crew member as well as the Carl's Jr. team member position. We'll allow these 2 to load. There it goes. All right, so starting with the first one, so the crew member position. So the way that I like to, before I explain this is a fast hiring process. And the reason why I say fast is because there's very little friction and it doesn't require a human interaction. So these right here are the individual stages that the applicants will be moving towards. Application stage is a place where applicants will fill out information. So this actually comes from the individual job boards as well as the career pages. As soon as an applicant fills out the questions here, they will go into the additional information stage. So we notice that Amanda's currently in this fake hiring process. Let's say Amanda does fill out that additional information. And that additional information could be anything that you would like. In this case, They're just asking those individual applicants, what is their availability to work? Then you'll notice something really interesting. Those applicants are automatically moved into the on-site interview stage. And that's where it gets super exciting. Workstream can be working for you while you are sleeping. So we'll notice that I added myself yesterday. So if I click on Aaron Delgadillo, we can actually see some details about them. So we can see phone number, email address, etc. We can see that I previously worked for the Sacramento River Cats as a grill cook, which is all 100% true. And we can see, hey, this person is great. However, they haven't scheduled a call. So I'm going to send them a quick reminder. When can we meet? I'll just send a quick text message over to them. You'll probably hear my phone ringing right now. All right, so to come to a close, after we interview Aaron, we can give them an offer letter. So the offer letter will give them the proper expectations of how much they're going to get paid, as well as they have the ability to sign that in the W-4. And finally, when they complete that, they go to hiring complete. Again, this is a very, very fast process. And as a GM, you are looking at Workstream on a daily basis. You're going in to see, hey, how many interviews do I have today? And that really does frame your thoughts of how you're going to work your day-to-day. Closing this up, let's go into the other position, the Carl's Jr. team member. You'll notice right off the bat, this individual hiring process has a lot more stages. But again, this was structured with their needs in mind. Similar as before, we have a great application stage where they're able to answer 4 or 5 questions about name, last name, email address, phone number. And then this group asks about the shift details, the availability. All these are all stages where it's all automated. Ultimately, all these applicants end in a hiring pool. Inside this hiring pool, you as a GM can then move over applicants to, in this case, the phone interview stage. Inside of this phone interview stage, then they can go into the on-site interview and then schedule the orientation. But this group did something a little bit different. I'm going to go under Aaron's name, again, like I did before. And I'm going to scroll down. This group added a great message about, hey, we would love to meet you using your device camera. Send a clear video. So I'm going to click on this so that way you can see how this looks. So in this case, it does download the video to my hard drive. And I can just click on this video to see what it said. Now I do have the sound off right now, so I do apologize, but you're able to hear Aaron talk about why he wants to work for Carl's Jr., as well as why he's a good candidate because he worked for the Sacramento River Cats as a grill cook. All right, closing this up, we've given you a lot of great information to move an applicant over. The very, very last thing that I'll mention before we go into some of the questions that are piling up in the background is this question button here. Based off of how an applicant answers, you're able to sort it. So let's say, for example, you're really curious about, hey, I want to find someone who can work those evening shifts. So let's see, who can work on Sunday? Perfect. So let's see, you can also work on Saturday. Great. So in this case, this is going to filter out all the applicants and shows me only the ones who want to or who can work on Saturday and Sunday. That way, you can make an informed decision based off, or an informed decision to move forward with those phone interviews. So clicking back on Workstream on the dashboard, I've shown you 2 different hiring processes. One that's very fast and we'll invite people to an interview stage immediately, as well as one that really does require some human touch, where applicants go into a hiring pool and you as a GM can then move them into an interview stage based off of how they answer those individual questions. So what I want to do now is I just want to open up. There's a lot of questions that did come in to the chat, and I'm going to answer them in the order that they were received. Oh, so the next question is, do we have any templates? And the answer is yes. If you are interested in working with us directly, we can provide you a few templates. So we typically stick to 2 templates that we will put together: job description, job title, and a hiring process similar to the second one, where you ask, we ask the applicant individual questions. They go into a hiring pool, and then as a GM or a hiring manager, you can move them into an interview stage. So that way, you don't have a sudden flow of applicants into an interview stage. You're also more than welcome to use the other one as well by deleting that holding stage as well, or that. So the answer is yes. That's a fantastic question. Okay, so the next question that comes up is, how many applicants can I expect to get? I'm currently spending $200 to $500 per month on job boards. If we move that spend over to your job boards and post for free job boards, how many applicants should we expect to get? That is a fantastic question. So at the end of the day, it really goes back to, it depends. It really depends on where you are located as an individual and where your stores are located. Our number one recommendation is to first start off with Workstream using free organic. So for the first 2 weeks, use that free and organic traffic to see how many applicants you're getting. After week 2, that's when we recommend to put in those that individual spending for the different job boards you would like to target, being Indeed or one of the 25,000 job boards. And the reason why I can't give you a clear answer, because it really does depend on your area, the unemployment rate there, as well as a lot of different factors. But it's not uncommon to see 20 to 30 applicants coming in. But again, we definitely would like to look at those numbers together with you. All right. Let me go down and over here. So the next question is, can I just tell you my current hiring process, and can you move everything over for me? I'm not very good with tech stuff. Another great question. So in these situations, what we've noticed is, our hiring process that we built works for the majority of our new clients. And if there are any little things that you'd like to add to the hiring process, we definitely can assist you with that. As well, we have an amazing help articles located on the top right-hand side here. And we also have a fantastic support team that is available 7 days a week, so that you always are covered no matter the day of the week. All right, so let me go into some of the more questions. So my district managers post. Okay, so my district managers post jobs and GMs do interviews, but I don't want GMs posting the jobs or changing any of the auto responses. Can we control that? So great question. So the answer is yes. So here at Workstream, you have different level of permissions that you can use with your staff. So coming in here into company and manage users. For example, today, I'm gonna just add a brand new user. So maybe I'll just add myself. So here is where we have the roles and permissions. Now, for the question that came in, is you would set up your GMs to be team member positions. Team members will have the ability to log into Workstream, use text messaging, and move applicants down the hiring process. And finally, set up interviews, but they will not have the ability to change any of the messaging when it comes to the job description, the automated text messages and emails, or any of that sort. That power will remain with the admin and super admin. On top of that, you also have the ability to limit which departments they have access to. So let's say you have a staff or even a management or maintenance department. Well, it's a little too much. In this case, you can actually limit to the GM to have only access to staff. And that way, maybe they don't have access to the management positions that could be available in the future. Cool, great question. Let me click that one as done. District managers, okay. These are all great questions. It's definitely a stump the chump day. Answer live done. Great, so one great question from a current customer is, hey Aaron, great to see you, same here. I'm a current Workstream customer and I'm only using Workstream at 5 of my stores. If I expand it to all 60, can I customize a hiring process and follow up with each store? So definitely, so working closely with our success team, if you do want to grow from 5 to 60, we have the ability to work with support and engineering to copy over all of those positions, all of those individual locations, and really help with that setup process, as well as training. We want to make sure that we advise you on a fantastic hiring process for starters, replicate that, and then train your team so that way we build a cohesive package specifically tailored for you. And that way you can roll this change initiative out with fidelity. If you are interested in that, definitely let your account manager or your success manager know. Answer live. Great. So do you guys have real-time chats so I can have Workstream help me choose which job boards to post to? So the answer is yes. So another fantastic question. So coming down here, this is our intercom button. And right now, you can go in to send them a message. I need some help. So our amazing team, Dermot, Elaine, Diane, and Janina, typically responds in no more than 3 minutes to really help you out. But yeah, this team is available 7 days a week. And if there are some questions that you did stump them on, they always come back and ask the individual success team. And as you can tell, we did not prep for this. You can see that Derma is currently typing. So we'll allow Derma to type out while I look at other questions that are coming in. All right. Answer live, done. All right. So we did answer the Carl's. So yeah, this was a Carl's account that we used from other locations. All right, so do you have any template? So the next one is relating to the hiring process is, can I watch videos of applicants from my phone? So in this case, those videos end up being downloaded to your phone. We definitely recommend to use a work computer, and from a security and fidelity standpoint, we definitely recommend to do that. That also brings up another good point. We do have a fantastic app that is available to your GMs. So instead of coming in here to see what your schedule looks like, you can log into your phone using our app, and you'll be able to see your schedule directly from the phone. I'll say thanks, Derma. We are I just figured it out. Let's send a little GIF. So let's close this up. Cool. So the next question comes in is, what is your average response time in chat? I've used Talent Reef in the past, and no one seems to respond to my questions. I'm looking for a service that can help me when I need to fill a role quickly. As you can see in real time, as of last month, our time to first response is 1 minute and 50 seconds. And we're really proud about the number because we want to make sure that we are definitely here from you, for you. When it comes down to it, you guys have very specific needs and you only have a very small time frame to be able to even be on Workstream. And we want to meet you there. So that way, that's the reason why we wanted to go after a really great support model to help you out. And as you can tell, Derma is an all-star of responding. All right. So let me go to answer live, done. Okay, so I often have just reschedule interviews. Do you have two-way messaging? I prefer managers don't use their personal phone numbers. Perfect. I think having, or to reflect back into the previous question about those videos, that is a common thing that we do hear from different Carl's organizations, that they don't want their team members to be able to use their phone. So coming into, let's go back into the fake applicant, Aaron, in the Carl's team member position. So when you click on Aaron, this is more or less a one-stop shop when it comes to all things Aaron. This includes all of his information, as well as messages. Here, you'll be able to see all of the messages that you do send over to Aaron. So I'm gonna say thanks really quick. And this will allow you to do a two-way communication with the applicant. And notice that it's not just text message, it's also emails as well. So that way, you can actually send a message 2 times in one shot. And in this case, let me move this out of the way. I do want to quickly show, oh, it looks like this has been expired already because we switched the account. But if the applicant does not select the time as well, you can send them personalized messages, as well as we do have some automations. If you need to reschedule as well, let me move over Aaron to the next stage actually. I'll go over here, move to stage. That way I can show you how we can reschedule as well very easily. All right, so I'm gonna move Aaron to the next stage. And I'm actually gonna just grab my phone really quick and select the time to meet. So before I do that, let me close this up. All right, so I'm gonna go back to my text messages and select a time. So right now, it does say that I have not submitted a time. I'm gonna go to my phone, and I'm currently using an Android phone, and it allows me to select a time. So let me select a time and go to confirm. If I refresh this page, you'll notice that Aaron has been scheduled for an interview. Now again, going back to the question, I can always come in here and say, hey, I need to reschedule that. And it sends an automated message over to the applicant so that they can select a different time. Again, I think I gave 3 answers here. So number one, yes, you can very easily communicate with the applicant via our phone app, as well as the online portal here. And also you can automate the process as well by just clicking on reschedule when need be. All right, so I want to ping everyone else to see if there's any more questions. And I do want to thank all of those who stayed the entire time. We do really do appreciate you guys taking the time to learn a little bit more about how we can make your life a little bit easier. For free, done. And I'm going to go check to see if there's any other questions inside of the Zoom chat as well. All right, so it looks like Tom did say bye, and really appreciate that. All right, so we will keep this open for a few more minutes. And if we don't have any more questions in the next minute or so, we will be cutting this webinar off. But if we do cut it off, I do want to thank you for attending. So let me go in here to see if there's any more Q&A. And maybe an open chat as well is for those who are still here. Is there anything else you'd like to share? Anything else that you would like to see within our platform, since we have a few extra seconds left? Sounds good, everyone. So again, I do, on behalf of the entire team today, we want to thank you for attending, and we hope that we can see you on our platform in the near future. All right, how can we contact you if there's any additional questions? It's a great, great point. So, or if you want a free trial. So let me go into workstream.is. All right, so when you come over here to our website, just workstream.us, you'll be able to, this is already pre-filled out for me, so you can very easily come in here, put in your email, and ask for a free trial, and it's really that simple. Cool. And if you do have any additional questions, you're more than welcome to come here on our homepage as well and take a look. And we definitely recommend to actually take out the free trial, so that way you can speak with a live person immediately. Cool. All great questions today. We really appreciate it. All right, everyone, I will be shutting this webinar off, and we look forward to be able to help you out in the future. Bye, everyone.